Om Shanti. Hello to everyone. I know that I had the privilege of meeting Dadi Gulzar, or if I use her official name, Dadi Hriday Mohini, the one who attracts your heart. And I knew her for many years because I came to the Brahma Kumaris in 1976. And so I had the fortune to meet her every year in Mount Abu at the headquarters of the Brahma Kumaris. And also, of course, I would meet her when she would come to the UK, and I was able to be with her. And I remember when I first met her in Mount Abu in India, she seemed to me like an image of a goddess. She was just so still, so poised, so dignified. And it's like every step she took, every word she spoke, really had so much power behind it. And when I say power, not power, of course, in a harsh sense, but spiritual power. It was as if she didn't waste a single thought or didn't waste a single word or action. Everything that she thought, that she said, that she did, really had significance and meaning. And when you're in the presence of somebody like that, it enables you to understand deeper significance and meaning in your life. And this is what I found with all of the daddies, the elder sisters, that one thing is what they say, but it's really their presence and the vibrations that really uplift you and really give you or enable you, let me say, to have a realization, a deeper realization of who you are, but also their main aim always is to bring you closer to God. Now imagine being in the presence of souls who only have that one pure aim in their heart. And I think what I really remember about Dadi Gulzar in a very beautiful way is that she was very, very kind, very, very thoughtful of the feelings of others. And every year when I go to Mount Abu, I would spend some time with her. I would tell her about my spiritual progress. And of course, in those early days, when you're really learning about the spiritual path, you're trying to overcome the old habits, the old ways of thinking, come to a new level. Then, of course, there are many ups and downs. And I was very young because I came to the Brahma Kumaris at the age of 21. And so I had lots of different emotions flying around inside me. And so I would talk to her. I would talk to her about my spiritual progress, my spiritual struggles. And she was always very, very kind. She'd always say something to me that would help me to feel good about myself and give me the courage to carry on. And I remember one particular instance that I had been with someone here in the UK, in London in fact, who'd been very ill and on a journey through cancer, and she passed away, the soul left the body. But I had been very much involved with her and her care over several months. And after she passed away, she was coming in my mind a lot. And I think I missed her to some extent. And I knew that actually this was not really a good thing, in the sense that if somebody's passed on, a soul has passed on, you don't want to pull them back by your thoughts of them. And it must have been a few months later when I went to Mount Abu, and I told Dadi Gulzar about this. And I said, really, I'm remembering her every day. It's coming in my mind every day. And she could have said to me, well, don't do that, do this, do that, do the other. But she gave me such a kind answer. She said to me, you're just remembering her to give her God's light and might. And that made me feel so relieved. And from that time on, whenever that soul came in front of me, or the image, I remembered her, I would just very consciously go within and share God's light and might with the soul. And it was as if something was getting released. And very shortly after that, I think within weeks, it faded. And yes, I remember that soul with love, but it doesn't pull me or pull me down or cause me any sorrow anymore. And so this was her quality of understanding. And something that she talked about a lot, which I really appreciated, she talked about that stage or that state of consciousness of being combined with God. And when you would look at her and you would look into her eyes, you would really feel that it wasn't a human being looking at you. Yes, she was a human being, of course. But her connection with God was so strong and so subtle that you felt a depth, you felt God's vibrations coming to you. And she was always very soft and very adaptable, and always loved to have a joke as well. But very innocent. I remember once there was an inauguration of a printing press in Mount Abu. And you know how the printing press, you know, when it's moving, all the pages are moving fast and, you know, the paper's coming out. And she came to inaugurate it and I was there and she was looking at it as if she'd never seen anything like that before in her life. I'm sure she had, but it was like she was so present in every moment. Every moment was new. And I'd see her whenever I remember once when she arrived at the airport in London, and there was a lot of welcome and flowers, and then she came up, you know, to the place where the car was, and she got into the car, and then I could see in her, she went inside. It was as if that scene had finished, and she was there with herself, there with God, in that combined form. Some souls, you feel, strive to come to God. She was with God, combined with God, always, and then she would come to us and go back again. And so the quality of her presence was very, very powerful and very silent. It pulled you into a state of silence. So yes, I feel very privileged to have had that opportunity to have been with her in my life. Thank you.